Los Angeles Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hey, finally a good game, guys. So finally a good game, or is it? 5.5 in favor of the Chiefs at home. 48 is your total. Boys, this is in my account. I have this Chiefs by a full touchdown. I actually can get to Chiefs on the other side of 7 if I really kind of start to adjust a little bit more. The play calling for the Chargers is atrocious. Staley can't get the defense to play. What can we say about it? There's nothing more we can say about this team, Steven. Like, there's nothing more we can say. They're the most underperforming team of the last 3 seasons in the NFL, hands down. I don't want to hear about the injuries. I don't want to hear about whatever. Every team deals with injuries, and yet somehow the Chargers are the only one that can never figure out how to overcome them and actually do anything with all the rest of the talent that they have. I think this number is too short. I think the Chiefs could end up making this thing pretty gross on the Chargers. So this one in the account for the Chiefs.
How do you really feel?
Yeah.
I'm going to defer to Adam here because I saw him nodding his head and giving a thumbs up here, and sounds like he's in lockstep with you.
Strongest confidence play of the week on Kansas City -5.5, which is where it's been sitting for a while. Here's why. Everything that someone is going to tell you about why to play the Chargers is narrative garbage. They're going to tell you, but the Chargers have played the Chiefs really well. And every time, no matter how close these teams are, they always played a 3-point. Yeah, okay. And now tell me what the 2 teams on the field are doing this year, here, right now. Because Kansas City isn't really impressing anyone offensively, right? Okay, big surprise. The only game they haven't won is the game they played against the Detroit team that all of us think is at the minimum a top 8 team in the league without Travis Kelce and because of a fluky bounce on a throw to Kadarius Toney, or else they win that game too. I texted Matt during the Monday Night Football game when I was trying to suffer through watching Mike McCarthy and Brandon Staley out-derp each other down the field, and I said, JFC, fire them both. I can't stand watching either of these teams. It's absolutely painful watching the Chargers find different ways to screw up every game. And so I haven't even gotten to talking about the Chiefs defense, right? I could talk about the Chiefs defense. There are people out there who think this is a top 3, top 4 defense right here and now, and I'm not going to argue with any of them with the way that they're playing. And let me add one more stat to why I feel as confident as I do, and I'm going to give full credit for this one to Drew Dinsick. If you are someone who follows the Deep Dive pod, he went back and looked at teams that have 10 or more days of rest against teams that have 6 or less, right? So essentially you've got the Chargers coming off a Monday night game, and you've got the Chiefs coming off the mini-bye. Back to 2013, against the spread, the teams with the rest advantage in those games are 16-6-2. That is the kind of trend, maybe the one and only trend, that I can actually give a little bit of credence to, because net rest edge is something that has been proven out over time.
Yeah, that's not a team-specific thing. That's not a coach-specific thing. That's not whatever. That's what we're talking about.
That's a human biology.
Right, like everyone knows, you just say every trend. No, I'm like, no, 99% of trends are garbage. There are some that play out, and those that are not team-specific, and they're not coach-specific, they're not player, personnel-specific. That is like that's just a fact, actually. Our bodies are better off, with more rest, whatever. So, Steven, I think you were kind of agreeing with us here. I don't see a lot of Chargers love on this pod for us.
Yeah, it's not the Chargers for me either. It would only be Kansas City, and you guys are really convincing me. I mean, I might pull out the phone after we're done here and add Kansas City, because you both made very compelling cases. I'll just look at the resume of what the Chiefs have done this year. 17 points scored against Jacksonville on the road, covered the spread. Kicked the crap out of Chicago, covered the spread. Would have covered the spread still, despite a horrible game by Mahomes at the Jets, if he decided to go in the end zone and said he took a knee. Jets probably still right side there, but very easily could have covered the spread there. Minnesota, despite a ton of Vikings steam, getting that down to 3.5. Chiefs scored 27 and cover the spread. Last week, they only scored 19 points, covered the spread entirely, except for one spot I could find where it did tick up to 11. So, despite Mahomes and the offense still trying to find their way a little bit, this is the best defense we may have seen of this Mahomes-Andy Reid era. And it is just raising the floor for them on a weekly basis more than we've seen in the past few years. So,
And they acquired a weapon this week, boys. Mecole Hardman coming back into the fold. I mean, you know.
Yeah, whatever. But
watch Mecole Hardman have like 800 yards to like close out the season or something, just because there's nobody else to throw.
They
to.
loved him so much they let him walk where they could have had him for 1 year, $4 million.
Yeah, so it's.
But, I mean,
anyway.
it can't get worse, right? I mean,
No,
we'll
it can't
see.
get worse.
But,
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, I agree with you, and I think the rest edge on top of everything is the cherry on top. So I'm with you. I'm with you guys.